Today's Swole Fam Spotlight is from Zach. What's going on, Beaches? Welcome to the Daily Swole podcast, episode 2655, Sunday, August the 13th. And today's live stream is Ask Papa Swolio Live. So we're just taking tons of questions today. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for being here. Zach writes, as a service member serving in a military where people idolize bro splits by day and bar crawling by night, being a member of Swolenormous X has given me a place to look to for not just my fitness needs, but my overall health needs and desires as well. The ideas shared in this group are shared with genuine intent, and the no bullshit attitude allows me to read and react to every conversation with the understanding that we are all here to get better every day. Anybody second guessing themselves on the Swole Fam should buckle up, take the plunge, and get ready for some gains. First, I want to say thank you for your service to this country. America for you, Zach. And I agree. The Swole Fam is always there, and we always talk about pillar number one being community. You need to surround yourself with amazing people, and if you are not cultivating and creating your environment, you need to get started on that immediately. That is the most impactful thing, is the people and the things that you surround yourself with. If you have a shitty environment, if you're keeping garbage foods, if you're fucking your eyes with blue light all night, if you're not getting quality sleep, if you're surrounding yourself with shitty people, you are not going to succeed. Period. End of story. So if you have a situation, or if you have an environment that you really can't avoid, you need to go internal. You need to really meditate, go inside yourself, and be a community of one. So it starts with that. It's a community of one. You are your own community. It starts with you. So don't look to other people for your community. Start with yourself. Start with taking better care of yourself. Start with controlling the controllables. What can you do to control your environment? Start with you. Start with those things that you can do. And of course, you can choose whether or not to spend time with shitty people. Sometimes those shitty people are your family and you're living with them, and that sucks. But you need to do what you can do. Everyone can do something. Everyone can improve at something. You hear this about nutrition too. A lot of times people will say, well, I can't go to Whole Foods because it's expensive, or fill in the blank for an expensive place to purchase things. It's like, okay, well, you're spending $20 at McDonald's. You could spend that $20 at a supermarket. Sure, it's going to take a little bit more time to cook. Not much time, but you'll get more food, more value, and you'll be better for yourself and for those that you're feeding, if it's not just you. So we all have choices. Make the choices that you can make better choices. That's it. And every day we try to make better choices, and your choices will become your habits. Your choices are your habits. Every time you do something, you're choosing it. Every time you don't do something, you are not choosing it. Or you're not choosing it by default, because if you do thing A, by default, you're not doing thing B. So every time you open the fridge, you're voting. You're investing. I was just talking about this the other night. When I buy food and we stock the fridge and the freezer and whatever, I don't look at that as an expense. I'm not spending money. People think of it as spending money. I look at it as investing. When I buy food, it's an investment. When I buy a piece of fitness equipment, it's an investment. People think of food as an expense. It's out the door. Oh my God, I'm spending so much money. Oh, food is so expensive. It's an investment. If you think about it in that way, it changes everything. You're willing to put more into that. It's the best investment you can make. How are you going to perform at your best? How are you going to live a long and healthy life, or as long and as healthy as you can? There's always extenuating circumstances, but you're not going to be successful long-term if you're not investing for that future. Same thing with financials. Invest. When you buy food, it's an investment. It's not an expense. It's an investment. Think of it that way. And Zach is a great example of someone who was surrounded by, people serving this country, but of course they were training, living hard both directions. You train hard, you live hard, you go and drink hard, but we know that's not good for you. We know that trashes the body. And just because people can be serving at a high level doesn't mean that they take care of their health. And of course, the military is for a short time, not usually for a long time. People serve a few years and then they're out. So go hard and go home. And the Swole fam is the best community that you have access to. If you're listening to this, you are already part of the greater Swole fam community. It's really important to be a part of that. And a lot of you don't have that in your immediate circles. It's very hard to find that, but we find that together. And it's just the mindset. We're not all going to eat the same way. We're not all going to have the same goals. We don't all look the same. We don't live in the same area, all ages, races, genitalia, that sort of thing. But we have the same mindset, want to improve. So make better choices today. Whatever choices you have, there's always more than one choice. You really have options. So give yourself more options and then choose the best option. Thanks for being here. Let's get into today's Sunday Fun Day Q&A. We got Matthew, Loretta, Jen, Anthony, how we doing? Andrew, Wookie, what's up, fam? How we doing? Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, anywhere you bang your ear holes. Leave us a 5-star review. Make sure you subscribe to the channels and everything. All those links, YouTube, Rumble, all that stuff in the description. Join the Swole fam over at swolenormousx.com. We had an awesome Driving While Gaining, an overtime segment on Friday. We had a Swole fam roundtable on Thursday. We have an accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. So we'll have some new releases. It's going to be fire. And that's for members only. So you're missing out on several live streams every single week and bonus content only for members, plus the private community. And of course, the programs, nutrition, meditation. It's going to blow your mind. Join the fam today, swolenormousx.com. Join Zach, Loretta, Cerny, everyone inside the Swole fam, and be a part of the greatest fam in the realm, swolenormousx.com. And of course, you can check out those new merch drops over at papaswolio.com. Use code Daily Swole for 10% off. Now let's get into the Sunday Fun Day Q&A. Let's fucking go. The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Coming in hot. Oh, this looks juicy. There's a lot going on here.
I'm seeing stars.
Hit Nico Cotto.
My nipples.
Looks like Tess Hornaday.
I'm fucking proud of myself.
You might want to get your thyroid checked.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Swole Norma.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 26 hundo and 55 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and yill hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. And today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2, flexing on all you beef. All right, fam, welcome to the Red, White, and Swole Sunday Fun Day. Q and Anus, also known as the Q and Anus. Welcome, come one, come all. Let's get into those questions. So you can start dropping them in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio, and we will get today's nut busted open. Everyone's dropping that anabolic August in the chat. So without further ado, let's summon the Falcon. As you drop your questions, what'd you smash today? Drop it in the comments down below. Thanks for being here. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's get into today's stream. Falcon. Yes, sir. Anabolic August. Excellent. Excellent. Anabolic August. Drop that in the chat. Now, we'll give away that swole card at the end of today's episode. We don't have a church today. I know. She's in the other room. It's all right. The Tainty Man's obscured, so it's just me today. It's me and the Falcon. You'll have to get used to it. Yeah. Bro, my fucking ears, please. Okay, let's get into some questions. All right, Andrew asks, Papa Swolio, what's Mama Swolio making for lunch? You know, we don't do breakfast or lunch or even dinner. We just eat. So probably going to be eating in the afternoon. We'll make steak. Last night we had some eggs, some bacon, and some cheese. And we're going to do steaks today. We'll do steaks today. So I'm going to be cooking today. Mama Swolio makes the best. She makes the best eggs. She makes such good eggs. Okay, let's see. Arjun Pawar, Papa Swolio. I wanted to ask how old you were when you started training hard. Training hard or training properly? Which is kind of both. But I was really taking it seriously. What year would that have been? I would have been like 17, 18 was when I really took it seriously and really got fucking yoked. So it was after I was lifting and stuff my freshman year of college because I was lifting in high school, but I wasn't really doing stuff right. I don't really even remember. I just remember lifting. I just don't remember anything coherent. But I had started lifting weights when I was 13, 14, messed around with it, but nothing really consistent. Freshman year of college, I didn't do it right. I was lifting too long. I was doing too much cardio and running. I was also playing baseball and I was eating a lot of salads and shit, getting lean. So I was like shredded, but like skinny. Like it wasn't good. I thought I was trying to lift and get bigger. And then right after freshman year, a lot of people keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And they just expect it to finally work out. I realized after when I got home that summer, whatever the fuck I've been doing, that didn't work. I wanted to get huge. So I just bought this is back in 2001. So I bought every single Flex magazine. I just scoured the infancy of the internet for any information. And I just applied everything. And I just ate like a fucking machine. I ate every 2 hours on the buzzer. I just fucking pounded food and I lifted heavy and I got fucking jet. That was the first year of a summer of really just fucking executing. And then I just kept on going and refining. I always played around with different approaches. The next summer after that was, because of course I was lifting through school, but then I fell in love with fitness and baseball was getting in the way of me training hard. So I played so much baseball, I was done with it. And then that next summer, I think it was the next summer, I just trained basic barbell in the basement and it was fucking epic. Just basic lifts and got huge. That's why I always say you don't need fancy shit. You just have a barbell. You can do the basics. You can get absolutely jacked. Let's see. How to cook. Papa Swolio. At my local butcher, they have grass-fed beef liver and grass-fed calf's liver. Is one better than the other? I eat grass-fed beef liver. We have it thawing in the sink right now. So what, calf's liver is what? Just baby cows? I don't know if there's really that much of a difference. I don't know if there's different enzymes or different nutrient density, but yeah, I mean, as long as it's grass fed, grass finished, right? They're quality animals. Try it. But grass fed beef liver is what I eat. So that's just what I do. Delicious. Okay. Joe, Papa Swolio, is decline bench press beneficial? Opinions seem mixed. Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, you get all right, there's a lot of stuff online, and especially with TikTok and Instagram, there are a lot of quote experts out there. Okay. And there's a lot of pushback against certain movements and like the science-based, like, I just don't like the place. Like, here's another science-based workout. Everything's science-based. It's called trial and error. And you could try these things on your own. So you don't need electrical stimulation graphs to know, oh, this exercise is ideal. If you're getting growth and you're making progress, different exercises might be more or less ideal for some people. There are some machines that will be great for one person's body structure, but for another person, it just doesn't hit them properly. Some people like certain movements better just because they've always done it or they get great results. So seriously, if you're getting great results, like, what's your goal, right? You don't need a ton of variety. You can just, if you love barbell training and that's it, then fucking go at it. Sometimes people acquire injuries over time, so they avoid and they go elsewhere. But a lot of times because they're not practicing yoga or mobility, so they have repetitive movements over time that wear down the body in a certain way. So you have a lot of opinionated people based on, and science can be very restrictive, and it's sometimes so nuanced, it's just kind of ridiculous focusing on a couple percent differences. Oh, this exercise is better. And then people do all that exercise. You have to figure out what works. What I will say is that you don't need a big decline. So I don't think it's a waste. Some people just like, oh, avoid decline. Well, a lot of people overdo it, right? They'll do a huge decline or they'll do a big incline. Same thing with incline bench. A lot of people are obsessed with incline bench, and yeah, it builds the upper part of your chest, but it's like a very small portion. Like, I mean, it's not like the whole, people think of the upper chest. It's not really getting over here. It's really just getting like this little strip over here. So that's only one little area of your chest. And it's not that incline bench works the upper chest more in that respect. It's really, in general, it works the entire chest. It'll hit the clavicular fibers a little bit more, but it's not so much that it hits the upper chest more. It's that it hits the lower chest less. So more of the focus moves to the upper and to the shoulder. So if you go too high with an incline, you're going to hit more anterior deltoid. So I think decline bench is beneficial. Just keep it like 10, 15 degrees. I actually have a decline press machine just because you don't see those a lot. And it's actually pretty good. And you can change, of course, when you have an angle, you can always change. You can put a pad behind your back and adjust it and see what works best for you. If you're lining it up properly, a slight decline can be beneficial. Some people love it. It's really about your form and how you execute the movement. So you could do chest dips. You can do other things for chest. You could do like cables and stuff like that. But I don't think there's any problem with decline. I just think people often will use too much of a decline, put too much pressure on their shoulders, and or they don't have good form or they're not doing it properly. Because you could do flies and you could do one-arm flies and isolation and cables that can hit those angles. So as long as you're not doing too extreme of a decline, it can definitely be beneficial. So I don't think it's a waste. I think decline bench in many ways is underrated, but it really depends on what you need and how you're doing it, which will give you pretty much, if it's giving you results. If you're choosing an exercise and it's giving you great results, then who cares what anyone says? Seriously. Well, the science shows, well, you're doing it and you're getting great results, then fucking keep doing it, is usually a great answer. So I think it definitely can be beneficial, but are you going to get so much more results with that versus a quality flat press? Probably not, but you can definitely maybe get a little bit of a different stress and a little bit of different shock if you sprinkle some in. Just don't do too crazy of a decline, maybe 15 degrees or something at the most, maybe. Anything more, it's just going to get you're not really going to get the stretch of the pec fibers enough. Tony, I did this nasty leg workout from the 90-day dash called Legs Ignite. And sled pulls, how do you expect me to walk tomorrow? Ha ha ha. I don't.
Come on, stop whining.
Give a fuck if you walk. Pfft. I feel great. Actually, my hamstrings feel like untuned guitar, like piano strings. My hamstring, holy shit. It makes me feel, oh, it's raining. It makes me feel like I did way too much volume, and I did, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. I did like 5 sets. I don't even need to do that much. I probably could have done 4 sets. Super sore. Crushed my ham bones. All right, let's see here. Good question so far. These were all in the live chat, by the way. We haven't even gone to Instagram. Save us from Instagram. You never know with the Ask Papa Swolio live. I'm sure some people are like, oh my God, we're going to get shitty questions today. Good start. Sam is jaded. Papa Swolio, my boyfriend, thinks that chicken is a better source of protein than beef.
Matt Damon.
What evidence can I give him that beef is best? Bam. Chicken's a weak bird. Well, look, if you have quality chicken, a lot of chicken is, God, a lot of chicken in their eggs, they're like they inject antibiotics and they inject things into the actual eggshell because it's technically not administering antibiotics if they're embryonic. I've heard that. A lot of them are fed corn, soy. So a lot of chicken sources are just not high quality, especially when they're mass produced and concentrated, just like beef. You know, every time I say in a video, I'm like, well, beef is better, blah, blah. I don't necessarily have to go through and say grass-fed beef every time. People are like, well, you know, beef, they're pumped full of antibiotics and all this stuff. Like, yeah, quality matters. So I don't say it every single time, but it's still the truth. Quality matters. So I definitely don't think chicken is a better source of protein. It is a source of protein, but you're going to get much more nutrients, much more nutrient density from red meat and from beef. I'm not saying you can't have chicken. I haven't had chicken in a while, but definitely not a fan. Definitely not over beef. That's for sure. That's my opinion and my experience. Bookworm, how does cycling benefit a full body workout? What do you mean, like the bicycle? I mean, you're riding a bicycle. What do you mean? How does it benefit a full body workout? Because you're working your legs? What are you asking? Matthew, Papa Soy, what about dumbbell pullovers for the lower chest? I think I asked before. There's costal attachment points for the chest. There's no lower chest. There is, but there's like costal fiber attachments. Dumbbell pullovers, I don't think dumbbell pullovers actually work the lower portion of the chest, but the beginning portion of the pullover do. Like on the pullover machine, if you're up here, if you're all the way back and you're like here, you can feel in your chest. If you go like all the way up, put your arm elbow, like, you know, the pullover machine, and go like this. Once you get lower, you'll feel like it kind of like taper off. So if you're trying to work your lats, when you go really, really high, you're actually working your chest at the very beginning and teres major and probably the rotator cuff muscles. But then when you hit the lats, once you go like from here, like when I do pullovers, I only go so high if I'm trying to target the lats. You'll get a stretch and stuff, but if you're trying to hit the overall chest, there's the sternal head and there's the clavicular head. So all you need is like a flat or a slight decline press. Flat's fine. And then for the upper chest, for those clavicular fibers, you can hit an incline. So usually what I'll do is I'll start, a lot of people do this. They'll start with an incline and then they'll do a flat. It's very simple to train chest. It's just about progressively overloading and training it hard and finding different movements and subtle changes. So I'll do certain machines. Sometimes I'll do the decline machine, but I adjust it so it's like a very slight decline, or I'll do the flat, or I'll do a machine press, or I'll do the Smith machine. So I'll mix it up. Because I have a couple different things. Like I don't use every machine, every workout. You don't need to do 4 different types of flat pressing. You only need a few sets. So you might do 1 or 2 sets for incline, 1 or 2 sets for flat, and then a fly movement, dumbbell fly or a machine fly, or like a cable fly or something like that. But again, you hear chest dips and stuff like that. I mean, I never really found, it can work your chest. You can hit your chest, but it depends. When you're trying to produce as much force as possible, it's all about the stability of the movement. I think dips are great for overall upper body. If you're doing there's certain movements that might be better for, let's say you're doing an upper push day, right? You're trying to get as many muscle groups involved in a singular movement. So dips will be better for chest and for tris and for shoulders than just a pressing movement by itself, than just a chest press. So if you're trying to, so it depends on your programming. That's why an exercise isn't necessarily this is better than that. It depends on how it's programmed, and it depends on what you're trying to target. So if you're just trying to isolate certain body parts or focus or bring up or prioritize ones, there's better things to choose than a completely integrated movement that's going to distribute the force. You're going to create fatigue, and it's going to kind of distribute the force more evenly. So it really depends on your split and what you're trying to prioritize. So anytime you have a body part, let's say you want to bring up your upper chest, then you should do incline first in your workout and prioritize that. Let's say you want to bring up maybe the overall portion of your chest and just in general, then start with flat and find a movement. Usually a converging press is best, but you don't necessarily need that. You don't need. And also when you're doing pressing movements, you don't want to, there's a lot, you don't have to go all the way down. You want full range of motion, but there is a point where it puts a lot more pressure on the joint and it becomes less mechanically advantageous for you to do the movement. So when you're setting up on a machine, you really want to be able to like let's say if your hands are here, you want to be able to move your hands back a little bit off. Some people start all the way down, and it's a really vulnerable position, and it's really the additional stretch relative to your muscles' mechanical advantage and be able to perform the movement is just not beneficial. You're creating a lot of tension when you're going through the maximum range of optimal force production and mechanical advantage for the muscle. And all you're trying to do is overload that over time, right? Add a couple more reps, add 5 more pounds, 2.5 pounds, 1 pound. Just some thoughts. Really good questions today. I love it. I love it. You guys showed up. Appreciate it. Okay, Andrew, Papa Swolio, do you isolate your forearm workouts or let them develop as you do other exercises? I add a few sets a week. So I'll do some sort of wrist curl, either curls, reverse curls are really what I do for the extensors. So you can reverse dumbbell. I use an Olympic easy curl bar. So you can use a shorter one, but I have one that fits my squat rack so I can rack it easy. So I'll do 2 sets of like 5 to 10 reps with reverse curls. And I'll also do, you could do cable curls with, for your flexors. You can do it behind the back. You can have it from a high position and curl them down. You can do them different ways, but again, it's progressive overload. Muscles need heavy weight and those stimulating reps. So anywhere in the 5 to 10 rep range is fine for any muscle group. So you can split them up. If it's something you want to prioritize, you might want to train them on a separate day when you're less fatigued. Maybe have a day where you're doing forearms and calves and shoulders because they're less fatiguing. Remember, if you're trying to prioritize or bring up a body part and you're doing it at the end of a workout, maybe you want to do it after legs or something so you're not fatigued. It depends on your split. So if you're doing them always, right? So a lot of times people are trying to bring up body parts, like they'll train calves every day and they'll always do it at the end of their workout. It's like, well, if you're trying to bring them up, you're already fatigued. It's not just because, let's say you did upper body, that you're fresh, right? Like, oh, I did upper body, so now I haven't hit my calves yet. Yeah, locally, but systemically, you are also more fatigued at the end of your workout. So whenever you're fresh, you warm up and you're ready to hit your first set, whatever you're trying to prioritize in that day, you should do first, right? So your programming is very important. What body parts are you trying to bring up? What are you trying to focus on? And then guess what? Focus on that when you have the most energy, when you're the most fresh. A lot of people think that frequency is going to do it. If I just train them every day at the end of my workout, you have it backwards. It's not about more frequency. It's about training them harder when you're more fresh. So if you're fatigued at the end, you're not going to get the most out of them anyway because you're not able to create that overload. You don't need a lot of volume. You need the intensity, and just do it when you have the most energy. And you'll notice this too. If you're doing calves, do it first. Do it at the beginning of your workout. They're not going to fatigue you that much. right? It's a small muscle group. Do it before a chest workout or something like that, if that's something you're really trying to bring up. Or you could do it at the end. But at the same time, if it's something you really want to prioritize, try it, play around with it. What's the worst that can happen? You're doing like 4 sets or something like that. You don't need a lot of volume, but when you're the most fresh, when you have the most energy. And sometimes I'll do that on an off day, right? So I will not training any massive muscle groups. So yesterday I did a little abs and I did some calves. So I did 2 sets of anterior tibialis and I did 2 sets of kind of 3 sets because I did 1 mid-range hold. So I would say 2 or 3 sets of the standing calf raise on my machine. Like 4 to 6, 5, 6 repetitions, but like, partials and holds. Like it's nasty. Stretch 3 to 5 seconds at the bottom because calves grow from the stretch. So I did it on a separate day and it's like half an hour and I was exhausted after, but not wiped out to the point of just being, because it's, small muscle group, but I trained it separately. Because for me, I'd rather when I work out, I want it to be under an hour. I don't want to do a ton of sets. I don't like doing psychologically. I don't like having chest, shoulders, and calves. It's too many things for me in one day. I realize I'm at the point where it's just, I don't want to do an upper body push and it's got to be a couple specific exercises. It's got to be something very simple. So 4 to 6 sets at the most, like total. And I'm just all out on those. Warm up properly and push hard. That's what's been working more for me lately. If I have too many things in my head that I'm doing, it tends to get dragged out a little bit too much. Arjun Pawar. Papa Swolio, yesterday I trained arms and chest. But I am afraid I exaggerated with the weight because today my muscles hurt. Well, yeah. What kind of exercise do you recommend so I can train hard again in a few days? I don't understand your question. You trained yesterday and you're sore. So what's the problem? You're likely to get sore after you train hard. I exaggerated with the weight. Well, I'm glad. Good. I exaggerate with the weight every day or every time I train. I'm often exaggerating with the weight. I too like to exaggerate. Let's see. Yvonne, Papa Swolio, I finally got the all clear from my doctor to start exercising regularly again. Any recommendations for easing back into the gym after 2 months of light stretching? Yeah, more intense stretching. So do more yoga. Do more yoga and keep the volume low. Follow doctor's recommendations and do exactly, you just said it yourself. Any recommendations for easing back into the gym? Yeah, ease back. Do general movements. Don't focus too much on isolation. Just don't do a lot of volume. You can still train hard. Like I would come back, I would just do like 2 all-out sets, that's what I would personally do is just train hard, but just don't do a lot of volume. And it'll be proportionate to what you can handle. It'll be a stimulus based on your current strength capacity. It just won't be so much volume that you're causing excessive, unnecessary damage. It'll just be relative to what you can currently do. So you don't need a ton of volume. But I would just do more yoga, do some vinyasa, just slowly ramp it up. Just what you said, ease back into it. How would you get into a pool? Well, some people are like, fucking cannonball. Just go in the shallow end. Yeah, I don't do that, Matt. Actually, Matt says, I don't like doing calves on leg days because it feels like it takes away from my other leg gains. I've actually had some good workouts where I did it first. And that was more on, actually I did calves first for a hamstring day once. And it was actually great. It almost felt like it activated them. Of course, I'm not doing a ton of volume, but it felt like it almost activated them for curls. But it could be a good idea if you did it first before quads, because you're not really, it depends on what movements you're doing, right? I wouldn't do calves before doing barbell squats, but if you're doing more stable exercises, it might not negatively affect you too much. But I never liked doing that first, just because you don't want to start cramping later on. You don't want to fatigue yourself before. Legs are very exhausting. And I never do calves at the end of legs. I don't know how people do that. In my opinion, if you're doing legs properly, you can't walk. Like at the end of a leg, I'm not fucking doing calves. If anything, you want to do maybe a 45 degree, like a seated, not seated for soleus, but where, the weight's on your hips, like a leg hip sled machine where you don't have the weight on your shoulders. But after a leg day, I'm no position to do calves. I never understand why people do that. I'm already wiped. Carson, how should we systematically return to a body part after injury? My food is better, but leg day makes me nervous. Is there anything else to it other than lighter weight and take it slow? Not really. What's the injury? Your food is better. Well, good. Leg day makes me nervous. Well, let me tell you something. If you're nervous, in other words, if you're not 100% confident going into what you're doing, you're either trying to do too much, but it's not like if you're getting under the bar for squats or you're getting into something and you have doubts in your mind, you need to get that out because one, you're not going to train hard enough. And two, maybe your body's telling you something, but you need to be in the right psychological state of mind. So I don't know what the injury was, but I would recommend doing things, especially for legs, reverse sled, do the knee mobility and ankle mobility and hip mobility master classes. Take it through a full range of motion. Don't go super heavy and just build that confidence. So if you go very light and get the full range of motion and you have really good form, it's better to do too little than too much. You're never going to regret, I didn't push as hard as I could have. Okay, so you come back and now you know what you did last time and then you could do the same or a little bit more. But then you go back and you just fucking go out and you hurt yourself again, you're going to have regrets. So just don't do a lot of volume. But if you're coming back after an injury, you need to make sure that you're doing things properly. Have you done corrective exercise? Have you been, I don't know what the injury is. So an injury, you just said that super vague. Oh, your foot? Well, that's a big difference. Well, if you want to follow up, I don't know what the heck you're talking about then. All right, let's see. DMN_08. Papa Swole, I broke my arm. What to do? I cannot work out. I disagree. Leg day. You can absolutely work out. Why not? You broke your arm. Okay. I severely sprained my ankle last year of college. Guess what I did? Everything but lower body. Do legs, do leg extensions, leg curls. You could do a lot of exercises, adductor work. You could do, breaking your arm. I don't know if you could do hack squats just because of your arm and pressure. Do leg press. Maybe that would be possible. You could do a lot of things as long as it doesn't cause you problems or complicate your own. Come on, just amputate. Fuck your arm. You have two. Use the other one. Such a chode. Chody McChoderson. Enrique 28. Papa Swole, is gym compulsory for an optimal health status? Aren't daily home exercise enough? I don't know. Are they? What are you trying to accomplish? Is it compulsory for optimal health? Well, what's optimal health? You got to define these things. You can't just say blanket, vague terms and expect, an answer. So exercise is very important. Are there many different types of physical activity? Sure. Can you go hiking and rock climbing and stuff and be healthy? It depends on how you're defining healthy. You should have muscle mass. Having muscle mass is directly related to longevity and overall health long term. But you have to fucking go to a commercial gym and max deadlift all the time? Of course not. Daily home exercises. I train at home. I lift heavy weights at home. Just because I have a house with bedrooms and bathrooms, a gym is just a building with weights in it. I have weights at my home. So, Ruben, period. So people say that because I say, go to the fucking gym. Whoa, Papa Swole, you say go to the fucking gym. I have to explain, this is what I mean. I mean, move your fat ass. Stop sitting on the couch eating cake. That's what I mean by that. I don't care where you train. The gym is anywhere that you lift. Gym could be your living room. Ruben, period. Separators. What's your favorite food? Beef. I love watermelon. Close. Motiha. 4. My friend wants to skip the gym today. What should I do? There's a spelling error in your question. That's not your friend. That ain't your friend. Get a new friend. Your friend sucks. The villanarias. Best protein out there. Yo mama.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
Get a high quality animal source protein. Raw dairy is great. Steak is great. Eggs are great. Chicken can be beneficial, can be good. High quality food. Food quality matters. Nate _5 fo. Is it normal to feel shoulder pain? No. Is it normal to feel shoulder pain radiating to chest? No. Is it normal? It's normal if you have an injury. I've been doing lat raises and butterfly chest movement. Okay. What is it? What? No, it's not normal. You have an injury. You probably hurt one of your rotator cuff muscles. No, it's not. Get that checked out. Wish you the best, bro. Also, this isn't medical advice because you should go to a medical professional or a therapist, but dead hangs are fantastic for the shoulders. Sounds like you have some rotator cuff issues. Or bicep tendon. FWJX, who cares? I do workouts at home, Papa Swolio, every day, and I'm skinny. But how come I don't see a lot of progress? It's because you don't eat enough quality food and you don't lift heavy weights. That's why you're skinny. You need to eat more food and you need to lift heavy weights, progressive overload. Training at home probably means push-ups, pull-ups, and stuff. You build a little muscle, but you're not going to build a ton. Sohaib Tuirsa. Papa Swolio, how to eat 2 scoops of shut the fuck up. My friend, you do not need 2 scoops. You need at least 3. So I would concern yourself about how to get 3 scoops of shut the fuck up. Oh, and go to the fucking gym. Zach Blonde, Papa Swolio, can I have a body like yours just in training at home? If you have a lot of weights at home, yeah, you can. If you lift heavy weights, again, wherever you create that kind of overload can be at your house. You could have weights at home. You could have a home gym and get fucking jacked. Are you going to have a body like mine without progressive overload? No. Leo Garcia, 7208, Papa Swolio. Hey, so I've been trying to lower my body fat percentage. What is the best way to do it? Thanks. Sorry. Close your mouth. Stop eating. Stop eating garbage food. So yeah, lift heavy weights, build muscle, and don't eat shit quality food. Try an elimination diet. If you want to learn more, go to swolenormousx.com. GJ next. Papa Swolio, can one get muscles? See what happens when we go to Instagram questions? They're terrible. Can one get muscles and lose fat in one time? You mean at the same time? You can. It's not the most efficient way to do that. If you are new to the gym, if you have a ton of body fat to lose, or you've been out of the gym for a while, then yeah, recomping or building some muscle when it's a new stimulus is more likely, but usually you need to build muscle. And then over time, as you build more muscle, you will trim down fat over time if you're eating properly, not eating junk food, sleeping well, hormones are balanced, all that stuff. Fucking types this shit out for a fucking screen name. Papa Swolio, what's a good bulking diet? I don't know. Eating the bullshit that's your fucking screen name? Why don't you eat some of that shit? All right, what's a good bulking diet? Focus on quality foods, high protein, and eating in a slight surplus, few hundred calorie surplus. You don't need a ton, but getting insufficient protein, lifting heavy weights. Otherwise, you're not bulking. All right, you want to put on muscle. You don't want to put on fat. So it's very easy to eat shit and put on weight, but that's not quality body weight. Chaz Dawn 79. What are the real benefits of cardio? Overall heart health and longevity. Cardiovascular system. You're getting cardiovascular benefits by lifting weights or doing the sauna, but cardio just means you are creating a different type of energy demand in your body, and your body is in more demand of oxygen, getting your heart rate up, elevate your heart rate, different zone training. It's good. People always ask, weights or cardio? Weights first. Cardio is beneficial, but people just want to do cardio because it's easier. It's easier. It's easier. I should say it's easier because the way people do it, they're just going to go on a treadmill. So cardio can be fucking ridiculous if you go high intensity, but most people don't really do high intensity. And if they do high intensity for a long time, it's not high intensity. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do it for a protracted time period. So you can get a lot of so in other words, what are you trying to do? You're trying to benefit the most. You can do interval. You can do shorter periods of higher intensity, get into zone 2 and do periods of interval. Again, if are you doing cardio to get leaner? Well, you need to have muscle to get leaner too. So again, it's not like a cardio is good, a cardio is bad. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to accomplish? What do you want the outcome to be? Right? What do you want the outcome to be? What do you want to look like? What do you want, why are you doing it? I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, why are you doing it? Most of the time, people have no idea why they're doing what they're doing. They just do things because they think that's going to get them results. I'm going to get healthier. That's so fucking vague. Get specific. Do you want to have, do you want to look like me and have muscles and be leaner? Well, you need to fucking lift a lot of weights. So, it depends. People want to be muscular and lean and they think they're just going to do cardio. Lift weights like pussies and then just do a lot of running. It's well, that's not going to get there. So it's important to match what you're doing with what you're trying to accomplish. All right, a couple more questions. Let's see. Mike to the limit. Papa Swolio, when is it time to change the training routine? When you're not getting results? You trying to build muscle? Are your reps improving? Are you increasing in strength? No? Then you have to change the routine. Increase the rest periods, maybe decrease the volume, change the exercise selection, nutrition, sleep. That's when you're not getting results. So how long should you not be getting results for? I would say a week or two. Not that long. You should be making consistent progress for the most part if you're resting, recovering, and training hard enough. You don't need a lot of volume. A lot of times people are doing way too much volume and they're not recovering enough and they're just exhausting themselves systemically and they don't realize it. They're just so used to it. They're just burning themselves out. So they're plateauing for a long period of time. Well, that's because you need to train harder and recover better and you'll actually make progress. You might also just need one exercise swap. You don't need a ton of different exercises all the time. Or Solic, how do you force yourself to exercise when you don't have energy or the will to do it? You do it. So, these are feelings you're talking about. You don't have energy? Well, you have energy. The will, that doesn't matter. So you're worrying about feelings. Will to do it? You mean you're just I don't feel like doing it. So that doesn't matter. Did you do it or did you not? Now, of course, if you should be recovering because you trained really hard, you shouldn't compulsively exercise for the sake of exercising. More isn't better. This is why people need an actual functional program that allows for optimum recovery to match the intensity. A lot of people just think that they have to be doing something to fucking destroy themselves every day. And that's ridiculous. You need to recover. So it's all about structuring and doing things with purpose. And most people, shocker, they don't do things with purpose. They just do things. So they have to have this cycle. They get addicted to that feel of exhaustion, but they're just chronically exhausting themselves. They're not really creating kind of threshold to adapt to, and they're just burning themselves out. Elijah, how do you feel about doing top round steak because it's cheaper and supplementing butter on top to bring the fat content up? Yeah, you could do that. Cooking tallow, and I have butter with steak. How do I feel about it? If it's grass-fed beef, there's different cuts. Some are leaner, some, as long as you're getting in your overall fats, there's benefits. Of course, it's different types of fats in that than butter. But if you're getting tallow, if you're adding tallow, cooking tallow, and then you're getting a lot of those beef fats. Yeah. Quality beef, there's different cuts, right? Scar LXXD. Papa Swolio, when is the best day for legs as I am an undergraduate student? See what happens? See about the educational system? You see how it doesn't work? You're an undergraduate student. How are you going to debt for your degree because it's not working? When's the best day for legs? What are you fucking talking about? Is this what we're putting out in our education system? What's the best day for legs? I don't fucking care I don't care when you go. What's the best day for legs? Yes. Best. Oh, that's the last question. Thank God. Matt Damon. What's the best day for legs? Tuesdays. Tuesday's the best day. Fucking care. Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. It's always a different day somewhere in the world. It's either yesterday or tomorrow, or it's midnight or... Bro. What a retarded question. Thanks for the question. I mean, thanks for wasting everyone's time. But at least we get to laugh at you. It's probably why people are like, I don't want to ask questions. Yeah, I mean, it's a stupid question. Now, if there's a language barrier, if you meant what time of day is best, it's still a stupid question because it has nothing to do with legs. It should just be, is there a better, right? Is it better to work out earlier in the day or later in the day? Right? It really doesn't matter. When are you going to be most consistent? When are you going to push the hardest? I just personally, I think training in the evening is awful, but some people have to. Like I would never want to train hard at night. Maybe yoga. Even like a vinyasa or something in the evening can be like nice but it's a different type of stress. Like lifting heavy and lifting. I just don't like to do that in the evening. I think people are better off doing it earlier in the day, front loading their day with their exercise, whether it's in the early afternoon or in the morning or whatever. At least doing some exercise first thing in the morning. But I mean, I've trained at night before. I used to lift later in the evening. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's not like you're not going to build muscle. It's just whatever fits your schedule, right? So if someone loves to, like they train, some people work at like 3 a.m. I mean, I think it's better earlier in the day because it ensures that you'll get yours in, because so often you'll go through your entire day and maybe it's a physical job or mental stress. And at the end of the day, you're exhausted. People are more likely to skip their training sessions if they train after work. They're more likely to make excuses or something's likely to happen or they get a flat tire or they have to go this or, I got to go. Some people like to do it. They go and they blow off some steam. Personally, I don't like that. Personally, I need to be focused. If I have other things on my mind, it's hard for me to train. Some people go and train and they do that. They train in order to de-stress. If I'm stressed, I can't focus on my training. So I have to take care of other things so I can focus. So that's why I think doing it first is better, because then you're less likely to have things that come up in the way and interrupt your session, and things can happen the rest of the day, but you got yours in. So you're prioritizing yourself first. So psychologically, putting yourself first. Okay. Good questions. Very nice. Let's get let me bring up this thing. I can't believe we have another accountability meeting. It just feels like we just had one last Monday, because we did. Tomorrow, fam, Monday, August the 14th, 12 noon Eastern time, we have an accountability meeting. Oh, I just realized this wasn't open for the chat. Okay. Monday, tomorrow, August 14th, 12 noon, new releases. We got at least one new merch drop. It's going to be awesome. New yoga, new recipes. We'll take Swole Fam posts, private questions. If you didn't get your question answered today, be there tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, especially if you're new and you're talking about questions about programs, just join the Swole Fam. Make sure you're there tomorrow for 12 noon and we'll take any of your questions. All right, let's give away today's Swole card. We got an anabolic August. It's very nice. Go make some gains today, fam. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, I don't want to give it to him, but I will. Matthew Riley, congratulations. All right, settle down. Settle down, everyone. Settle down. Everyone's like, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Matthew, Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swolecard 26 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Everyone, give up a big round of applause for Matt. Yeah. Tough crowd. All right, Matt. Well, everyone's got your back. The Swole fam is so welcoming. Congratulations, bro. And we'll take some soundboard requests. Let's nut this beach. Let's fucking go. Falcon, close it up. Shut it down. Shut it down. Yeah, see, it's still fucking rigged. You see? Never satisfied. Goddamn libs. Never satisfied.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Shut up, bitch! You trying to squeeze an inch in on me somewhere, huh?
I got hairy legs. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
You make me happy.
No medication except my fucking antidepressants.
How about I send you a hobo's dick cheese?
Loud noises!
Good selections, fam. Good selections.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn!
Dodson! Dodson! We've got Dodson here!
Yow. Yow.
Emotional, damn it!
These are all Swole fam requests. Good ones. Good ones.
You can be fat and be healthy.
Nope.
I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
Yikes. That chick is probably already dead then. Too many bananas. Oh!
And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives.
Great Scott!
Fucking people.
There's Tiny Tuck, Typical Tuck, Total Tuck, and the Tyrannical Tuck.
Lieutenant Dane.
I don't know how to put this, but kind of a big deal.
Ooh. Coast to coast. Locked it down. Very nice. Thank you, fam, for being here. Good Q&A. Good Q&A. If you're ready to join the Swole fam, join us, swolenormousx.com, and be there for tomorrow's accountability meeting. Remember, 12 noon Eastern time. Get that hog up there. All right. 12 noon Eastern time. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll have Swole fam post private member questions, new releases. You guys are really going to love it. I've been telling you there's new merch coming. We have so much coming. It's going to be lit. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Hit the thumbs up button before you leave. Peace, McGee's, Deuce McGoose. Your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you My shit is relevant, off topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons out closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element.